Hello everyone, in this video, I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Moeed Pirzada to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Moeed Pirzada's words. Back in 2019, when the so-called platelet drama of Nawaz Sharif was staged in Pakistan, there are at least 200,000 doctors in Pakistan, but as far as I remember, apart from me, no one in the Pakistani media questioned this story on television. What is this tale being told about platelets? I checked some of my own old routine blood tests. My platelet count has never dropped below 200,000. Normally, platelets range between 150,000 and 400,000. Mine have always been on the higher side, around 250,000 or so. Yet, on television, doctors were claiming that Nawaz Sharif's platelets had fallen to below 15,000, then below 10,000, then below 5,000, one after another. Recently, Shahbaz quoted some doctor in court, saying that the blood being tested wasn't even Nawaz Sharif's, it was allegedly a dog's blood. But my real question to you is different. Let's say ISI fooled you, let's say the media fooled you, let's say everyone fooled you. But why is it that the people of Pakistan themselves are so easily fooled? Why is it that Pakistanis believe just a word, a phrase, and make a huge issue out of it? I've checked the statistics of my TV channel. Kids under 18 don't even watch it. Most viewers are mature. Yet such silly points are discussed endlessly. The real question is, in a country of 250 million people, why are they so easily deceived? Can such a thing happen in India? Ask yourself honestly. Put your hand on your heart before God and ask, can Indians be fooled like this? Can Sri Lankans be fooled? No, not at all. Their level of education and awareness is much higher. Can Bangladeshis be fooled this way? In my understanding, no. Can Turks be fooled like this? No. Indonesians? Very difficult. Malaysians? Very difficult. So why is it that in Pakistan the rulers, the army, ISI, generals, the media, anchors, TV talk shows, all deceive people, and the people are ready to be deceived? This is a very serious question. Everyone should ask themselves, why are we so foolish that we let this platelet drama be played in front of us? I forgot to mention one thing. Nawaz Sharif used to shave daily. This should have been said at the start. When I used to see those dramas, there was also footage of Nawaz Sharif. If in Nawaz Sharif's mind, or his Dr. Adnan's mind, there had been any genuine belief that his platelets had dropped to 5,000, 10,000, 15,000, Nawaz Sharif would never have been shaving. A tiny cut like mine bleeds so much even with over 250,000 platelets. What a massive drama was played before everyone. And as far as I remember, apart from me, no anchor or doctor on Pakistani television raised objections. Even Dr. Yasmin Rashid went and certified that Nawaz Sharif's health was very poor. I don't know what happened to Faisal Sultan. I even texted Imran Khan at that time asking, Prime Minister, what is this drama? He replied, I have been told, I have been assured by everyone that Nawaz Sharif's health is in critical condition. Something might happen to him. Imran Khan wrote back to me, what a system, what a system. That's why Nawaz Sharif came to my mind so much, because of the system. Now, moving forward, once again Imran Khan's sisters, Alima Khan and Noreen, were not allowed to meet him. I think since August began, this is the third or fourth time. On August 13th as well, the same thing happened. Even last week, they were not allowed to meet him. Today too, not only Alima, but also 6 of his lawyers, including Salman Akram Raja, Salman Safdar, Barrister Gohar, none of them, as far as I checked till the last moment, were allowed to meet him. And at that stage, Alima Khan gave some very interesting statements. I always find her very intelligent. She said, we want them to arrest us. We come here precisely so that they arrest us. But they don't arrest us because they know if they do, it will make headlines. The world media will pick it up. We want to be arrested, but they are afraid of the news it will create, so they don't arrest us. She laughed a lot while saying this. I wish I could show you that clip. Right now, if any member of Imran Khan's family is arrested, it will become international news. They want that news, but the authorities are avoiding it. She was also asked about Quaid-e-Azam. You saw the drama they staged around August 14th. She said they claim to respect Quaid-e-Azam, but their actions show they are against him. She said now, whenever they go out to protest, they will carry posters of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah and Fatima Jinnah. So why don't they allow them to meet Imran Khan? The problem for this Sharif Zardari Asim regime, whose most powerful figure right now is General Asim Munir, is that protests outside Adiala jail make news. And even if they completely block them, that itself makes news. This is what you would call a dilemma in English. Their dilemma is that if Alima, her sisters, or his lawyers, or the media meet Imran Khan, it makes news. When Imran Khan's voice comes out, when a message of his is released, it creates political pressure on the Sharif Zardari Asim regime. Their solution to this is, don't allow anyone to meet him. But when they don't allow meetings, then protests automatically form outside, and they have no solution for that either. They don't want those protests, but they also don't want Khan's voice to get out. In both cases, they face a crisis. They are constantly forced to decide which option is the lesser evil. It is in these circumstances that messages from people like Sohail Warich and Faisal Vauda appear, speaking on behalf of GHQ, essentially on behalf of General Asim Munir. We must understand this. There is no doubt that this is a cruel, ruthless, tyrannical regime completely devoid of human compassion. But their problem is that they cannot move past this stage. The ongoing protests, which refuse to end, create a constant problem for them. On the face of it, people might think, what difference does it make if protests keep happening? But in reality, for any regime, anywhere in the world or in history, if sustained protests continue every day, every week, that regime cannot progress beyond a certain point. That is their crisis. Now Adil Raja, knowing full well that people won't believe it, especially since Sohail Warich strongly denied it, still insists otherwise. Warich quoted General Asim Munir as saying, "I do not want to become president. God himself has chosen me as the guardian of the Pakistani nation, and I am very happy in this role." He even praised Shahbaz Sharif, saying he works 181 hours a week. He said there would be no changes in this setup. Of course, retired Major Adil Raja, who is based in the UK, is well aware of Warich's column in which General Asim Munir tried to kill these rumours. Yet just a few hours or a day ago, Adil Raja tweeted again, claiming his GHQ sources say there is indeed a plan in the works to make General Asim Munir the president and Moeed Pirzada the prime minister. Now, it may be possible that this is one faction's plan or a contingency arrangement. It may never happen in practice. But my analysis is this. When so many rumours circulate about General Asim Munir becoming president, there is a saying in English, there is never smoke without fire. Behind every rumour, there is some truth. That truth lies in political science, human psychology, and the logic of power politics. Just as in human life, in politics too, you cannot remain static in the same form forever. You must either progress forward or decline backward toward downfall and collapse. To avoid decline, every decision-maker in politics must move forward. General Asim Munir has already elevated himself to Field Marshal. Politically speaking, it is not possible for him to remain static at this same position for long. He must move forward, he must become president, he must transform his power into a different form. Without becoming president, he cannot simply sit for the next 5 or 10 years. If he wishes to continue, he needs a different kind of power. That is why he also needs a deal with Imran Khan. This background explains why Moeed Pirzada arranged that interview which led to Sohail Warich's column. The political motive behind it was to signal that Asim Munir wanted some form of arrangement with Imran Khan, an arrangement many call an apology deal, or sometimes even likened to a 9/11 deal, a slip of the tongue there. But what it really means is that Munir wants Khan to agree to leave prison, shift back to Banigala, accept the current system and regime, contest elections within it, and gradually re-establish better relations with them. Such an arrangement may serve the needs of Imran Khan and PTI, but it also fulfills a crucial need of General Asim Munir's regime. This is the bind they are in. That is why the daily protests, even though small and weak, still exert pressure. Yes, they arrest people, beat them, pour out their milk, but the protests still carry political significance. All right, now moving on to the situation with the floods. You must have heard that the entire city of Karachi has been submerged. Even though the rainfall wasn't that heavy, Karachi flooded because of its failed drainage, poor management and broken infrastructure. If you look at the footage, you will see dozens of cars floating in water, yet the rainfall wasn't extraordinary. Just a few weeks earlier, far heavier rains had hit New York and New Jersey, but there, as far as I recall, only one car slipped in New Jersey, killing 2 people. In New York, there were no deaths at all. Within a few hours, everything was cleared, even though, as you know, New York too sits on the sea. In Pakistan, however, whenever we face such cloudbursts, they are dismissed as mere acts of God, natural disasters. What can we do? It rains, water comes, then floods come. This is how it is explained away. But Pakistan's governance challenges Uncontrolled population growth, poor infrastructure, lack of urban planning, combined with worsening atmospheric conditions caused by the greenhouse effect, all create these disasters. We are already grappling with basic crises: no democracy, no human rights, no rule of law, dysfunctional courts. On top of that, climate-driven disasters like cloudbursts are becoming a new kind of crisis. Yet there is almost no discussion on Pakistani television, on social media, or in policy circles about what this means for a country of such a huge population, and what implications it will have for our progress in the future. Now, another development I only discovered when I saw 2 tweets from Ambassador Zalmay Khalilzad, the former United States Special Representative for Afghanistan who led the Doha peace process. In his tweets, he strongly criticized Pakistan's decision to host an Afghanistan-related conference on August 25th and 26th. Initially, it was claimed that Afghans themselves were organizing this conference, or that it was the work of some independent think tank. But Khalilzad said this was completely false. He said Pakistan's Foreign Office itself leaked documents showing that the entire conference was being organized by Pakistan's powerful intelligence agency, the ISI. It was the ISI that selected the participants, provided their names to the Foreign Office for visas, and arranged everything. Khalilzad said that hosting such a conference against the Afghan Taliban government, bringing their opponents together in Pakistan, is an unwise step. It signals that Pakistan is reverting to its old policies. When I saw Khalilzad's tweets, which I also retweeted, I did some checking. I found in Dawn and other Pakistani newspapers that Dr. Maria Sultan's organization was involved. This institute, which has now been turned into a university, is holding a conference. If Pakistanis had even a little sense, they would have arranged it through some other think tank or at least some newspaper instead of doing it this way. This is basically like saying, "Come bull, hit me." Is there any person in Islamabad above the age of 14 or 15 who does not know that SASI, the South Asia Strategic Stability Institute, is actually an ISI institute? It was ISI that established it. Its entire funding also comes from there. Dr. Maria Sultan has had a long-standing relationship with Pakistan's establishment and intelligence agencies, and she has never hidden it. It is understandable that when television channels invite her, they call her as a spokesperson for ISI and the Pakistani military. She has never concealed this. In fact, she takes pride in it. Journalists and TV anchors also know this fact. Now, after all this, you turn around and claim that some think tank independently organized a conference on Afghanistan, inviting women and various other groups, and gathered all those opposing Afghan Taliban. I mean, how intelligent is this? In other words, they are openly sending a message to the Afghan Taliban that we can trouble you in these ways too. Consider a parallel if inside Iran or Afghanistan, Pakistani Tehreek-e-Insaf supporters were gathered in a conference, and people there were saying this regime should be removed or Imran Khan should be released from jail. What would Pakistan's Foreign Office position be on that? Exactly. And this is why Zalmay Khalilzad wrote in his tweet that the news about ISI managing all of this was actually leaked by Pakistan's own Foreign Office. Why? Because the Foreign Office feels subordinated to ISI. They believe ISI takes wrong decisions, gives wrong direction, and then imposes the consequences of those wrong decisions on the Foreign Office. So surely within the Foreign Office there must be some thought that at a time when they had invested months of effort and energy building a trust-based relationship with the Afghan Taliban, this conference comes and destroys that entire process, making it counterproductive. But who listens to the cries of the Foreign Office in such circumstances? Khalilzad gave quite an explanation in his tweet that ISI is controlling all this. Now, about America. There's a very prominent economist, Professor Steve Hanker. His name looks like Hank, but everyone pronounces it Hanker. On his Twitter handle, he shared a cartoon about Pakistan's governance system. I'll try to show it on screen. About him, I read that among the most influential economists in the world today, in terms of thought and ideas that are taken seriously, he ranks number 3. So he shared a cartoon about Pakistan's system, showing that Pakistan's government is the army, Pakistan's judiciary is the army, Pakistan's media is the army, Pakistan's civil society is also the army. In other words, nothing exists in Pakistan except the army. That was about Pakistan. Now quickly, let me tell you what is happening in Pakistan's neighborhood, between India and China, and also America's role. But let's focus first on India and China. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi not only met Ajit Doval, but also India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Official pictures have been released. Publicly, Wang Yi stated that India and China are neighbours and should be partners on the global stage rather than antagonists. This sounds simple, but it is actually very deep. The entire conflict between India and China, continuing since the 1960s, is rooted in China's feeling that though India is its neighbour, India does not partner with them, but instead aligns with the West and works against China. The current outcome of talks is that direct flights between India and mainland China will start soon, and expectations are that the heavily militarized border areas since the 2020 Galwan clash will be demilitarized. Now, the Wall Street Journal points out why this is significant. These India-China meetings have unusual importance because at the same time, tensions exist between India and the US. You already know what Donald Trump has done. The point I want to make is that the cornerstone of American foreign policy toward India since the 1960s, when India was in the Soviet or non-aligned camp, has always been in Asia. There are three big powers: China, Russia and India. America's fundamental goal has been to ensure that India and China do not come together. Donald Trump's current administration criticizes India, saying India has played double games, buying arms and oil from Russia, refining and reselling petroleum products for profit, indirectly funding Putin's war machine, and still demanding benefits from the US. Trump's advisor, Peter Navarro, wrote in Financial Times presenting this exact perspective. But this is not America's historic position. The US establishment, political, military, intelligence, knows well about India's tricks with the West. Yet they tolerate it because their basic policy is to keep China and India apart. If India and China come close, the balance of power in Asia and the world changes. Right now, India is signaling to the US that it can get closer to China. If that happens, 25 to 30 years of US strategic effort since Clinton's presidency goes down the drain. That is why I doubt Trump's anger toward Modi and India will last long. Soon he will be pressured to stop, otherwise India will move toward China. When I was in Pakistan, there was a Sikh military attaché in India's High Commission. He was very intelligent and competent, but like a soldier, he viewed the India-China border issue purely in terms of land, size and territory, believing it can never be resolved. But as much as I have read Chinese writings and philosophy, they do not see land disputes merely in terms of acres. They see it in terms of trust, respect and mutual understanding. They want a relationship of trust with India, which they feel is missing. Wang Yi's statement fits exactly into this framework. Henry Kissinger, in his book on China, analyzed Mao Zedong's thinking the same way. China always wants to remind India, "I am your neighbor. Our closeness should be greater than your ties with the West." That was the message of the 1962 war, and the same message was behind the 2020 clash. Here, Modi's government made a big mistake when they unilaterally abrogated Article 370. They only thought about Pakistan, ignoring its implications on Chinese political thought, and this led to new tensions. India will have to make adjustments here as well. That's all for now. Once again, this shows how foolish we all are collectively. I will meet you again next time. That wraps up our translation of Moeed Pirzada's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.